Hey guys, this is Gabriel Lorenzi, curator of the blog Grupo Dicas, one of the biggest travel blogs in the world, and today I'm here to tell you the best tips of Paris. We separated the 10 best tips of all our videos for you to know what is really unmissable for you who are traveling there, so it will be quick tips, useful and without winding up. So guys, enjoy the video. Don't forget to give us that like, that's very important for us. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, that helps us a lot, and buckle up. Well, Paris is a huge city. It has a lot of touristy things. It's one of the most visited tourist cities in the world. We have a whole video just about what to do in Paris and another one about where to stay in Paris. And anyway, but let's summarize all the other videos that we made in one video with the top 10 tips that will make a difference on your trip. So without further ado, let's go. The first tip that we recommend and that we think is the most important for Paris is to be well located and know where to stay. For you to know quickly how Paris works, it's divided into arrondissements. It's their name, they call some regions that are 20, so they go around the city and head towards the middle. So the smaller the arrondissement, the more centralized the region is. Number 1, which is the first one, is in the most central region of all, which is where the Louvre Museum is, and from 8 to 1, it's still that tourist area, so you have to stay in the area. There are some very good neighborhoods that are favorites, which are Le Marais and the Quartier Latin. This is a place that has a lot of Latin stuff. A lot of Latin immigrants went there and ended up opening restaurants and bars. It's a very lively and cool place. And then there's the Eiffel Tower, which is a little bit on the other side, so there are several cool regions. Paris is a little bit different from the others because there is not exactly a better region, but if you stay in the center, you will be in the best location possible. The tip is stay as close to the Seine River as possible. The Seine River cuts the city in half, regardless of which region you stay in. Staying close to the river, you are close to all the other regions. This will help you a lot to locate yourself, save time going to places, logistics, and getting around. In short, you will have a much better trip, and to make your life easier, we ended up creating a customized map with a link. I'll leave this link here in the video description with all the others that I'll mention during the video. It's a site that we always use to search for hotels, and it's the larger hotel searching engine in the world, and we were able to make a custom map with the area that we think is the best location. So you click on the link, it will open the map, and you will see that there's a delimited area in the middle. If you stay in this area, it's the best location. In our opinion, you will be close to everything and there's no mistake. And then you enter the date of your trip, and the filter is already there, only shows hotels with guest ratings from 8 to 10. Anyway, go there and guarantee your lodging. And a tip for you to save money, do it as soon as possible, because the more time passes, the hotel always gets more expensive. Advanced booking is the key for you to save a little or a lot on your lodging in Paris, which is not cheap at all. And this site has free cancellation, so it already guarantees your price. If later on you find another promotion or want to change your mind, or the hotel, the room, you can cancel for free. The second tip has a little bit to do with the first one, which is transportation in Paris. Paris has a very good public transportation, especially the subway. We use the subway a lot, and you probably will too. So try to look for a hotel that's close to the subway, which is not difficult because almost all of them are closed because there are many stations. And the tip for the subway is buy the pass, which are several together. And what happens if you buy the pass for one trip, you will pay one amount. If you already buy the pass for 10 trips, you will pay less than half the price, so you save a lot. Then arriving at the subway station, there will be a machine where you buy your ticket. Look there are the packages, super explained, and try to buy the maximum number of days that you use the trip, and it ends up being much cheaper. And there is the application Metro Paris that helps you with everything. You put your destinations and it shows you which station you have to get off, which subway you have to take, and anyway, it's very good. And then we go to our third tip that it's also related to this one, which is the internet chip. In Paris, the internet ends up being very useful for you to use the subway, locate yourself, use the GPS to walk from the tourist spot to another, see the opening hours of things, restaurants, and finally to do everything and stay connected with other people. So buy the chip beforehand in your country. We always do this because we think it's a little bit cheaper, a lot easier, and more practical too. We think it's much better to have the service in our language. So I'll leave here in the description of the video also the link of this partner that we've been using there for years. The signal is superb, and for all the cities we traveled in Europe and the world, in Paris it was sensational. We bought it in our country and received it at home. There was a very descriptive manual, and when we arrived we put the chip in the cell phone and we already left the plane being able to use the internet at will there on our trip. The fourth tip that we recommend and that we think is very important is divide the sites by region. And there are a lot of cool sites in Paris. They are very spread out, so you have to be careful about that. There are people who sometimes book to go to the Eiffel Tower and then want to go to the Notre Dame Cathedral or to Sacré-Cœur, which is much further away, so you have to be careful there with the sites in this division. Otherwise, you will waste a lot of time of your trip. You will get tired and it's not worth it, guys. Totally not worth it. So the tip is to take one day to go to Paris, and no, one tip to go to Paris. No, you're already in Paris. Our tip is set aside one day to visit the Eiffel Tower and its surroundings, which are in the 7th arrondissement near the Seine River. You cross it, and there you have the Arc de Triomphe and the Champs-Élysées, which is the main avenue in Paris. So you know those sites too. And you go down the Champs-Élysées. There's a very nice square, the place de la Concorde, which has a very nice park and a garden together with the Louvre Museum. So take this tour together and you will get to know the optimize of your itinerary. The Luxembourg Garden is close to the Musée d'Orsay and the Notre Dame Cathedral. Unfortunately, it's closed because of the fire, but you can see it from afar, so do them too. And reserve one day to go higher, which is where the Sacré-Cœur Cathedral is, which is beautiful, and also the Moulin Rouge and some other attractions. So plan it well, because the planning it's going to be a lot of difference in the trip. And the ticket for the Eiffel Tower. There is a visit to the 2nd and 3rd floor. We recommend you go up to the 3rd floor, which is a little bit higher. It's a little bit emptier and the view is very beautiful of the city. It's worth the difference in the price. The 6th tip is about restaurants. Paris has many restaurants of all kinds. Very expensive ones, very cheap ones, local ones, and so on. Our tip is avoid the ones that are very close to the tourist attractions because they are very expensive. If you walk 3 or 4 blocks into the city, you will find restaurants that are just as good, local restaurants that are sometimes even nicer to visit and for a very cheap price. The one by the Eiffel Tower, for example, which is one of the most sought after by the whole world, we ended up booking. We were super excited, we went it, but we regretted it because we paid much more and the food was not good. The experience was not good. They treated us badly and wanted to rush us because there were too many people. They want you to eat fast, so it's better to leave it to the more local restaurants that are very nice places, so explore. Oh, and the tip about the water, for those who don't know, if you go to a restaurant and asks for a bottle of water, you make a bottle of water that's a beautiful one and delicious, but it costs between 6 and 8 euros. Imagine paying between 6 and 8 euros in each meal, lunch, dinner, and for all the days of your trip. Converted to our currency, it's a fortune. And what tourists don't know is that in Europe and in the United States, almost all countries there have filtered tap water, so they drink it and it's their custom. It's very rare for the French, for example, to ask for a bottle of water. They drink tap water, which is called tap water. So you order tap water, you don't pay anything, and it's always a courtesy of the house. The water is so good and you end up saving a good amount of money on this. It sounds silly, but it's really a nice tip to save money. And now let's talk about good things. Let's talk about shopping, only with economy. In Paris, shopping is not so cheap. There are many designer stores. The most luxurious ones in the world are there, especially on the Champs-Élysées, which is the avenue that's very cool. But that area has a lot of expensive stores, but there are also a lot of cheap ones, and sometimes people don't think about that. But in Paris, there are other brands stores that we know, Nike, Adidas, ATM, that we like and have very good price. There are all these cool brands, Victoria's Secret, Forever 21, and so on. You can find clothes for a cheap price. Our tip is go to the Champs-Élysées and to the Galeria Lafayette, which is a tourist point apart. It's a beautiful one and very cool. And the main tip for shopping is tax-free. For those who don't know it, it's a very good thing. There is in almost all countries of European Union. It's a treaty when the tourists make a purchase in the country that he or she has the right to a refund. They call it refund. If you get a part of your money back and it really works. In the case of France, in Paris, it's 12%. So everything you buy over 175 euros, you have to spend at least that amount in a store. You already receive and can get this amount back. The stores are already used to it. If you go over there and over this amount and the checkout, the clerk will ask you if you want want tax-free or refund, they ask you something like that and you answer yes. They just need your passport, either physical or photo. Then they take a picture with your cell phone so you can carry it around with you, and then they fill everything out, put together with the receipt in an envelope and close the envelope. You collect all these envelopes until the last airport of your trip. So you're going back to your country from Paris, you do it at the Paris airport. And if you're still going to Spain, for example, you collect and add the envelopes from Spain as well. It's only at the last airport that you can get this refund, and there at the airport everything is explained. You go there and fill out the form and give all the receipts, and you can get in cash. They give you the euro notes and you get out within 12% of everything you bought. In cash, it ends up being a good economy. A lot of people don't know and end up losing this benefit. 8th tip, we'll talk about souvenirs. Everybody who travels to Paris wants to buy an Eiffel Tower, a refrigerator magnet, a pencil, or a mug. There are many stores near the tourist attractions. You leave the Eiffel Tower at the Arc de Triomphe. There are many stores around, but the prices are very expensive. They really abuse it because people come out wanting to buy. You move to the places that do not have such a famous tourist spot. Leave it for later when you are strolling around the city or in some local residential area. There's always a store where the prices are almost half the price. It's much cheaper and the products are identical. They are the same. You will see that they are the same products because they only sell the same companies and the same retailers. Only they throw the price up there. And another tip about walking around Paris. The city is super quiet. You will hardly have any problems with violence, but there's a lot of thefts that are the famous pickpockets, so stay tuned. Walk with your passport, document, or money in a very tight pocket. Those fanny packs are the wallets that you put inside your body. Anyway, just stay tuned. We Brazilians are more than used to it. We don't usually mess around, but stay tuned because it's very important. And another tip is leave your passport at the hotel. Leave it in the safe and take a picture of it in case you need to use it, but don't carry your passport with you to avoid any kind of problem. The 9th tip that influences a lot in the trips, I think it's the factor that influences more in your trip, is the season. Try to avoid going in high season in Paris because the prices of everything are much more expensive. Your trip will be much more expensive and also things will be more crowded. You have more queues, the sites are more crowded, so if you can avoid the high season months, it's very good. The very high season months that are sometimes worth avoiding are July and August, which is the European summer, and then the cities get crowded. It's really summer and they really enjoy these vacations. This period of the year and the end of the year are the months that are very high. In January or New Year's Eve with the parties, people also travel a lot and the cities are usually crowded. Traveling in another period or another month of the year, you will be able to save time and money and you will have a slightly calmer trip. But also, if you can only travel in these months that are the school vacations, sometimes the person can only travel like this, you can enjoy it. Traveling is never bad, and in Paris you will still enjoy everything in the same way. And the last tip that's mandatory, actually it's not a tip, it's a must, is that you don't forget the international travel insurance. For those who don't know, travel insurance is mandatory to enter almost every country in Europe. So if you're going to Paris, you have to have international travel insurance. What is it? The insurance covers you for any unforeseen events that you might have abroad, medical assistance if you need a medical consultation or a hospitalization, which is very expensive. It's a fortune both in the United States and in Europe. Loss of luggage, theft of luggage, and there are several coverages included in the travel insurance, and then it covers you for everything. The requirement for you to be able to enter these European countries is that your travel insurance covers at least 30,000 euros of medical assistance. This is the only requirement, and if you have insurance with this and this coverage, that's it. Peace of mind and you won't have any problems, and it's not expensive. Travel insurance is cheap. We do it even when it's not mandatory. We never leave Brazil without travel insurance because it's very worthwhile. It's cheap, it covers you for everything, and you can even have big losses. So the travel insurance, for you to have an idea, one for 10 days, and that has all this coverage, it costs between $25 and $35. It's very cheap. We will even leave the link down here below in the description of the video as well. The travel insurance comparator, it's a sensational comparator. It gets cheaper prices than the insurance companies themselves. It compares all the health insurance companies in the world that have international insurance available and good insurance companies, and they show you the best prices and deals they can get that are unbeatable. So take a look here below. In 5 minutes you get it, receive it, the email, get ready to print and take your travel insurance with you to the whole trip. And that's it, guys. I hope you liked the video. If you liked it, please give us a like and subscribe to the channel because it really helps us. And guys, follow us on social networks. We are always traveling around the world trying to show the news there in a very cool way. the news. What news, people? And follow us on social networks. We're always traveling around the world, trying to show our travel tips in a very nice way, in our family routine with our little one, which is a blast, with the best service, the best comparators, and by saving a lot, your trip will be much cheaper. So I'll leave it here along with the playlist that has all the other videos that are also very good from Paris for you to watch. And that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Have nice trips. I'll see you next video.